Hey, how about we get a little rebellious with Rebel Yell Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey right after this. Welcome back to Whiskey Quest. I'm Antonio, and today we're going to be tasting and reviewing Rebel Yell. It's a Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 40% ABV, 80 proof, and this is actually a wheated bourbon. So the mash bill on this consists of corn, wheat, and malted barley. And well, then we say we're getting a little rebellious, so let's get a very good hefty pour there. There you go. But anyways, back to the whiskey. So yeah, 40% ABV and wheated bourbon for $17, $20 depending where you are. But this is something you're gonna find at pretty much any liquor store you go to. And it's a no age statement bourbon, but it is a straight bourbon, and according to the rules, if there's no age statement on the bottle, it's guaranteed to be 4 years old. So it's a 4-year-old Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, wheated whiskey. If you're new to my reviews, I usually go through the nose, the taste, and the finish, and then I like to add a little bit of water and see if the whiskey opens up with that or not. So if that's something that you like, once you hit that subscribe button right now, and then let's move on with the review. On the nose, I get first thing I get on the nose with this one, it's a lot of the maple syrup that I usually get on bourbons. Right after that, I get like a citrus note. I get a lot of the oak, the charred oak barrel in this. Also get some toffee, very light. And there's like a coconut note in the very back. It's a pretty good nose. Let's move on to the taste. Cheers. Alright, to me, this is a really good budget whiskey. Right up front, I get hit with that peppery, like black pepper note. Even though there's no rye in this, I do get that black pepper note. There's a hint of mint right after that, and then I get the charred oak also. The finish on this is actually on the medium side, and it finishes with that charred oak and like hints of coconut right in the back. A little bit of like a tangy kind of note, but more of that charred wood oak. It's pretty good. So yeah, let's add some water and see what happens with that. It's this is a very easy sipper. At least to me, I get like very little burn. So let's just add one small drop. There you go. So let's let that open up for a little bit. I opened this, as you can see, it's not the first dram I had. I opened this up over the weekend with my brothers, and we all liked it. All of us liked it, and like they all agree with me. There's like very little to no burn on this whiskey. I've seen some other reviews where people say that it's a crappy whiskey. I have to disagree on that one. It's actually pretty good for the money. I mean, for the money, you got to keep that in mind. It's for the money. $17 to $20. It's pretty good. So Rebel Yell was known to be Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones' his favorite drink. And actually Billy Idol talks about how he got inspired to write his song after he hung out with them at a party, and they were all taking swigs from the straight from the bottle. I mean, how much badass can you get? So let's move on with the review with some water. On the nose, on this one I get a lot of the maple syrup. I mean, it got like really sweet. I smell some honey. I get that charred barrel note. And there's a weird note in there that the only way I can explain it is like it smells like pencils. I mean, like when you first open up a box of pencils, that's what it reminds me of. Tiny hints of citrus. Let's move on to the taste. Cheers. Okay, on the taste, right up front, I get sugar sweetness. I get caramel. There's some spice there still. Not as much as before. That's pretty much it, but the finish got shorter, but it still finishes with that wood char. And it's pretty, like a bittersweet kind of note. And then, I don't know if I mentioned the mouthfeel. With both water and without, I get like a silky mouthfeel. It's pretty good. Like I said, it's pretty good find. So my final thoughts on this whiskey right here. For the money, it's pretty good. Go ahead and pick up one of these bottles and put in your bar. Show your friends the difference between this and other bourbons, and get them out of the mentality that just because it has a cheap price tag doesn't mean that it's bad. So why don't you go ahead and give me a like if you like this video, share it with your friends, comment below, and if you're new to the channel and you like what you've seen, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'd like you to stick around for more videos. Having said that, cheers. See you in the next video. Bye.